Lost Planet Tiamat, the cosmic mystery of the solar system. Could there be a planet in the solar system that no modern encyclopedia mentions? According to some researchers and proponents of alternative theories, yes. Its name is Tiamat. It is said to have orbited between Mars and Jupiter until something catastrophic happened. What led to its destruction? And did it really exist? Proponents of alternative theories claim that it was destroyed by a cosmic catastrophe, perhaps a collision with a mysterious celestial body known as Nibiru. Fragments of this planet, they say, still float in space, creating a belt of asteroids that has puzzled scientists for decades. Others go even further and suggest that our Earth may be part of what remains of Tiamat. This story goes back to ancient myths, particularly Sumerian, where the tale of a chaos goddess named Tiamat is linked to ancient celestial war, divine conflicts, and planetary destruction. Is this just symbolism, or is it a coded memory of real events from millions of years ago? In this episode, I will take you on a journey through forgotten spaces of space, texts from thousands of years ago, and the latest astronomical research. Is there a shadow of truth in the myth of the planet Tiamat? The answer may surprise you more than you expect. Part 1. The planet that isn't there. At first glance, our solar system seems well understood and organized. From the Sun to Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Neptune, each planet has its place and trajectory. And yet, between Mars and Jupiter, lies something that has puzzled astronomers and inspired conspiracy theorists for years: a vast belt of asteroids. Instead of another planet, we find thousands of rocky fragments moving in a chaotic, yet relatively stable arrangement. What if this is not a coincidence? What if this debris is what remains of an ancient planet called Tiamat? According to the theories of some independent researchers, Tiamat was supposed to be a huge planet, orbiting in this very space. It was neither fiction nor myth. It was a real astronomical object that disappeared from our system as a result of a catastrophic event. According to these hypotheses, it did not disappear by itself. Something, or someone, destroyed it completely, breaking it into countless pieces. The first mentions of such a planet began to appear in the 20th century, when anomalies in the distribution of asteroids and their chemical composition began to be analyzed. Some pointed out that there were too many large objects in the asteroid belt, the distribution of which suggested an ancient explosion. This led to the birth of the theory of a hypothetical planet, named Tiamat, whose existence could explain many mysteries of astronomy. But where does the name Tiamat come from? And why is it so often linked to the myths of ancient civilizations? In the next part, we will look at ancient texts that some claim may contain encoded truth about this lost planet. Part 2. Tiamat in Sumerian mythology, the goddess of chaos and birth. The Sumerians are one of the oldest civilizations in the history of the world. Their cuneiform writing, created over 5,000 years ago, has allowed us to learn about myths that still amaze us today. For many, they sound like more than just old stories. Among the most interesting and mysterious figures of these beliefs was Tiamat, an ancient goddess identified with the primordial ocean, the force of chaos and the mother of all that exists. According to the Sumerian epic, later known in its Babylonian version as Enuma Elish, Tiamat was a primordial being, the incarnation of the cosmic ocean. It was from her interior that other deities emerged. She was both the source of life and the embodiment of the unpredictable forces of the cosmos. When the newborn gods disturbed the original order, Tiamat decided to destroy them, creating an army of monsters to restore the old balance. However, Marduk, a young, ambitious storm god, rose against her. Armed with a magic net and lightning, he defeated Tiamat and cut her body in half. From one part he created the sky, from the other, the earth. Although this story is a myth, many esoteric scholars see it as a metaphor for a real cosmic event. In their interpretation, Tiamat was not a goddess, but a planet, a vast celestial body that was destroyed in a cosmic conflict or collision. Marduk, on the other hand, was another planet or object that led to this catastrophe. The killing of the goddess would thus symbolize the destruction of the planet and the creation of the heavens and earth, the creation of the structures of the solar system as we know them today. This interpretation raises questions. Could the Sumerian texts be an echo of ancient astronomical knowledge? Are their gods just symbols, or perhaps a story about something real, lost in time? Part 3. Nibiru vs. Tiamat, a disaster from aeons ago. In alternative cosmology circles, the name Nibiru often appears, a mysterious celestial object that, according to some theories, was to play a key role in dramatic events in the distant past of the solar system. It was Nibiru, also called Planet X, that was to be the cause of the destruction of the planet Tiamat as a result of a powerful collision or a series of close encounters with catastrophic consequences. This hypothesis, popularized by Zecharia Sitchin, is based on the reading of ancient Sumerian tablets and the idea that the Sumerians knew more planets than current astronomy assumes. According to this vision, Nibiru moves in a highly elliptical orbit, passing by the known planets only once every few tens of thousands of years. When it first approached the solar system, its trajectory would have crossed the path of Tiamat. This would have resulted in an impact, or series of impacts, that would have torn the planet apart. Some say that Nibiru did not collide with Tiamat directly, but pushed another object that hit it at the right angle. Another version speaks of a powerful gravitational influence that tore the planet into fragments, scattered today as asteroids. Some of the debris supposedly formed a new object, the Moon, and some drifted in the space between Mars and Jupiter. Although modern science does not confirm the existence of Nibiru, astronomers have often considered the idea of an undiscovered planet influencing the trajectories of celestial bodies. Is it possible that somewhere far away still lurks the dark witness of an ancient cataclysm that forever changed the architecture of our solar system? Part 4. Is the asteroid belt the cosmic ruins of Tiamat? Between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter stretches a vast belt of asteroids, also known as the main asteroid belt. It consists of millions of rocky fragments, from microscopic grains to objects hundreds of kilometers across. The largest of them, such as Ceres, Vesta, and Pallas, could themselves be the embryos of planets. But one question always comes up. Why isn't there a full-fledged planet in this place? One popular theory is that the asteroid belt is the remnant of a celestial body that failed to form due to Jupiter's strong gravitational pull. However, another, much more controversial hypothesis is that a planet existed but was destroyed, and it is its debris that drifts between orbits today. Proponents of this theory point to the unusual chemical properties of many asteroids. Some contain organic compounds and even water, elements that suggest they came from a larger, complex body. Analysis of the trajectories and distribution of these objects suggests the possibility of an explosion or a massive impact, the epicenter of which could have been in this region. Moreover, the distribution of fragments in the asteroid belt is uneven. Some regions are much denser, others almost empty. This phenomenon is difficult to explain with a simple model of planet formation. There is also no shortage of studies indicating that some asteroids could have had a crust, mantle, and core, a layered structure typical of planets. So is the asteroid belt nothing more than a tomb of a lost planet? Maybe it's no coincidence that this is where the most cosmic dust in the entire solar system is located. Or is it just an illusion and a remnant of other processes? Part 5. Did our Earth come from Tiamat? Among the most surprising hypotheses about the planet Tiamat is the theory that our Earth could have been a fragment of it. It is not just about cosmic debris or a cloud of dust, but about the creation of an entire planet from the remains of a destroyed celestial body. According to this concept, as a result of a collision with another object, perhaps Nibiru, Tiamat was broken up, and one of its larger fragments was pushed into a new orbit, where over time it transformed into what we know today as Earth. Supporters of this vision point to our planet's unusual geological structure. Its crust is relatively thin, and its interior is exceptionally active. Volcanism, tectonic plate movements, and a strong magnetic field are features that distinguish it from other known rocky planets. In addition, there is the presence of water in huge quantities and complex organic compounds, all of which would come from the interior of a larger developed body, which Tiamat could have been. The Moon's location is also intriguing. According to one theory, it was created by a powerful impact on the young Earth. But what if the Earth was not the target, but one of the fragments? In such a scenario, the Moon and Earth would have formed from the same explosion, as a pair of debris ejected from the core of the ancient planet. There is also speculation that Earth's unique origins explain the origin of life. If our planet was once part of a more complex world, it may have inherited the ingredients for biology, perhaps even its beginnings. Is this a bold fantasy, or the key to understanding our place in the cosmos? Part 6. Alternative Cosmology, Tiamat and Esoteric Astronomy. In the world of alternative theories, Tiamat is not just a forgotten planet. For many researchers dealing with esotericism, channeling, and the spiritual heritage of humanity, it is a symbol of a lost stage in the history of the cosmos, an era in which consciousness and matter coexisted on completely different principles. In their eyes, Tiamat was not just a physical object, but the site of a highly developed civilization, the fall of which left its mark on the entire solar system. In numerous channeled messages, from individuals claiming to connect with extraterrestrials or higher dimensions, there are stories of conflict between planetary civilizations. According to these sources, Tiamat was a center of spiritual and technological development, whose inhabitants mastered crystal energy, teleportation, and even space-time manipulation. However, hubris, experiments with energy weapons, and internal conflicts were to lead to catastrophe. The planet was annihilated, and its consciousness scattered throughout the system. In this vision, Tiamat's remnants are said to exist not only as asteroids, but also as records in our collective subconscious. According to some spiritual schools, the traumatic echo of Tiamat's destruction affects humanity to this day, manifesting itself in fear of destruction, longing for lost harmony, and archetypes present in mythologies around the world. In this context, the Tiamat theory is not just astronomical speculation, but part of a larger narrative about the history of the universe and man's place as a witness to cosmic cycles of creation and destruction. It is not a question of facts, but of memory recorded beyond time. Part 7. Tiamat in the Light of Science. What does modern astronomy say? In the world of science, every theory requires evidence, observations, and verifiable data. The hypothesis of the destroyed planet Tiamat, although extremely intriguing, is met with great caution from the academic community. Astronomers agree that the solar system has undergone a turbulent evolution, full of collisions and migrations of celestial bodies. But is it possible for a planet to exist that was completely destroyed? The most frequently cited evidence by proponents of this theory is the Asteroid Belt. However, many scientists believe that the material there never formed a planet, largely because Jupiter's powerful gravity prevented it from condensing into a larger body. Additionally, the total mass of all known asteroids is only a tiny fraction of the mass of the Moon, which casts doubt on the possibility that they are the remains of a large planet. Another issue is the stability of the orbits. Computer models show that the destruction of a planet by collision would have left chaos in the trajectories of many other celestial bodies, notably Mars and Jupiter. Meanwhile, the solar system exhibits relative equilibrium, which many researchers say indicates that such an event has not occurred in its modern history. While scientists are investigating hypotheses about so-called lost planets in the context of the migration of gas giants and the evolution of their orbits, the planet Tiamat does not appear in official models. But that does not mean the mystery is solved. New data, for example from the Lucy mission or the James Webb Space Telescope, may shed more light on the origin of the asteroid belt and the structure of the solar system in the future. For science, it is not a legend or myth, but a hypothesis. And every hypothesis, even the most extraordinary, remains in play until it is unequivocally refuted or confirmed. Did Tiamat really exist? Was it a planet destroyed by a collision, a powerful goddess described in Sumerian myths, or perhaps a symbol of an ancient fear of chaos and destruction? Although modern science does not unequivocally confirm the existence of such a celestial body, the questions still remain open. With each new astronomical discovery, our understanding of the solar system continues to evolve. A few decades ago, we had no idea that exoplanets existed, and today we are discovering thousands of them. Models for planet formation, orbital migration, and cosmic collisions are becoming increasingly complex. What we consider impossible today may become part of commonly accepted knowledge tomorrow. Meanwhile, the story of Tiamat remains one of the most intriguing threads that combine mythology, astronomy, and alternate visions of the past. We may never know the truth, or perhaps the answers lie in the data we already have but can't yet properly read. The solar system still holds many secrets, perhaps somewhere in the dust of asteroids, in the ice of Jupiter's moons, or in the trajectory of an as-yet undiscovered planet, there is a trace of Tiamat. Or perhaps all this is just an echo of our imagination trying to make sense of the cosmic silence. What do you think? Could the planet Tiamat exist? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want, and see you in the next episode.